Shouts out to my people. Shouts out to my people. Sending love, positivity, and good vibes to my people, man. I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing great. Today, I wanted to just speak on Cardi B having her fourth child with Stefon Diggs. And at the end of the day, I feel like this is definitely a gift. Congratulations. When I had my daughter, it was it was the best day of my life. So I'm not saying what I'm about to say to attack, to think that I'm better than. I just think that these situations we can learn from. Because in society of what's going on nowadays when the every rate is going down. People are having less sex. People are getting into less relationships. People are, you know, not falling into love. People are not getting married. People are filing for divorce. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to relationships, I wouldn't even say love. When you have somebody, regardless of, if you guys make it, if you guys don't, if you guys break up, if you guys don't, if you guys have kids, if you don't, I feel like as a society, we need to do better with curating these relationships, not getting into these relationships off of how we feel, but getting into relationships structured off of principles. Now, granted, I know that you can't help who you're attracted to, but at the same time, we need to be accountable for the people we lay down with, the people that, you know, we have kids with, invest with, spend time with. Our culture is more worried about status, worried about the tabloids, worried about the headlines, worried about being seen and having that attention. Cardi B, I felt like at the end of the day, um I will give her kudos. I think that when you break a woman's heart and you put her through enough shit, she's going to resent you. She's going to do anything and everything to, you know, the best thing to do is to be in it. If you ever get in a relationship, try not to allow things to get ugly. Now, that is very, very easier said than done. But when you're playing mind games, and sometimes it's the other way around and you just can't control it. But I will just say that Offset wasn't, he didn't handle his marriage the best way that he possibly could. He was cheating on Cardi. And I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, you cheated, so you need to go to jail or you need to die or you know what I'm saying? Or you should, like, I think that relationships can bounce back from cheating possibly. Not all the time, and I don't think that it's normally the right thing to do when somebody cheats on you is to go back. But it just all depends on what's at risk, how much you guys invested into the relationship, and if you guys if you were remorseful, or if you wish you wouldn't have did what you did. Now, if you cheated and you just want to get back to somebody so you can cheat on them again, I don't believe in that. But I do believe, you know, cheating isn't the end all be all. That's my personal opinion. Um, and I'm not trying to back Offset. I'm just saying at the end of the day, what we put into what what matters. Like, to me, I feel like the investment in the relationship, whether you guys have like building that empire is way more important than the actual physical aspect of cheating. I think that cheating really is disrespectful because of the lying aspect. Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody wants to see their lover being with somebody else, but I feel like the most hurtful thing about cheating is the deceitful part. Is the fact that you lied, the fact that you played stupid, the fact that you tried to get away with something that you knew was wrong. So, I'm ranting, but Offset put her through the fire. So, I think that this is a little bit to get back at Offset. Offset cheated, he got her back, and then he just, he was doing stuff like cheating. I don't even know if this is true, but he was cheating on his sister. And, like, if y'all doing all this, just stay single, man. Just stay single, because you are digging yourself you're digging yourself a deeper grave. What you guys don't realize is when you get into a relationship, as much as we want our cake and eat it too, you have to pick one of. And if you aren't willing to pick, and chances are, if you do pick, you're gonna put yourself at a disadvantage. So in this day and age, it's smarter just to stay single. Now, are there that rare relationship that we're all looking for? That we think that, that's how we all think. When we get in a relationship, we don't think our partner's going to cheat on it. We are so naive. We think, oh, well, none of this stuff is ever going to happen to me. And then sometimes it happens to you. So, speaking on the situation, it's like, yeah, they were playing a tit for tat. They allowed their marriage to become messy, right? But I feel like it comes a time where you guys have to just let go. And I will say, I think that Cardi is, she doing her thing. She may be in love. She's moved on. And I can't knock her because at the end of the day, he had every opportunity and chance to save his relationship, to save his marriage. Granted, I wasn't there. I wasn't there in the day to day. I didn't know what conspired, but from, a Sky point of view, I feel like he had his chances, he had his opportunities. And I feel like at the end of the day, men aren't perfect. We judge Offset, but Offset is a rapper. He has play. And if you're a rapper with the actual mouthpiece, you gonna eat up. Offset was sleeping with Sweetie. He was sleeping with every fucking but Kashawn Rock. So that just tells you right there, he has a mouthpiece and he's a rapper. He got clout. He got money. He got status. So he's gonna be able to move and with this era that I am. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody wants to be the big dog. Nobody wants to please. Nobody wants to invest into an empire or a religion. You can get so much further with help in a relationship than to do everything by yourself. A lot of women out here complain about going 50-50 with a man, right? So you guys would rather go 100, 0 100. Y'all rather not have enough. Y'all never, I'm not even going to deal with this man if he can't pay all my bills. So you rather pay all your bills? That doesn't make sense to me. And me saying all these things, I'm really trying to break down. We have to meet at a middle ground. From the women to the men, we have to meet at a middle ground. We can't continue with this culture, the society we're in. The music that we listen to is vulgar. Everybody's singing Sexy Red now. I always speak on Sexy Red. I'm not trying to attack her because at the end of the day, I feel like, she's just playing her part. But at the end of the day, what she's promoting, these females aren't trying to get into relationships. They're trying to use men. They're trying to find tricks. They're trying to be hoes. We have to meet at a middle ground to the point where we get excited to even want to be in a relationship again. People get excited just to have a roster. And I was living this way for a while. Having a roster, talking to 2, 3, 4, 5 people at the same. Now it's to the point where, I would way rather just be single, alone, and just build my empire than, wasting my time, energy, and efforts into stuff that isn't going to matter. It's not going to matter in 5 years. It's not going to matter in 10. Is this Cardi B and Stefon Diggs? Are they getting married? We are celebrating being baby dads and baby moms. Granted, happy that the kid, happy that it's a blessing, it's a kid. I'm all for kids. Love them to death. But the decisions that these parents make, include myself, no. We so in a rush to have a kid. Are you in a rush to have a girl? Like, we are having baby moms now before they're even getting into relationships, becoming couples. We don't even know each other. We're literally linking off of a body part. Oh, he got some dick, so let me kick it with him. Oh, she got some pussy. Let me slide through. Not even knowing who this person really is. Having soul ties with a demon. And the only person we can blame is us, because we was extra horny. We gotta control our temptations. And like I said, I just wanted to speak on the situation because it's like we are celebrating the baby being a baby mom. That's nothing to be celebrated about. Now, is it to be shameful and to want to hide? No. They have every right. They're both single, but we have to get like, dang, cause you got a ring first? You just gonna pop out a kid? He ain't even proposed to you, but you gonna have his kids. He was just in the tabloids when y'all fell out saying you booty stunk. And you wanna have his kid. And like I said, I feel like this is more about the get back, the tit for tat. Oh, we got a one up. He said this. He replied back. Okay, bet we got not knowing that all three of them look like they got the pie face. Like they got the egg face. Like the yolk is just falling down from their chin. Stefon Diggs, you look mad. I don't know. I'm not trying. Like I said, it ain't my job to be talking down upon nobody. Because if in the scale of what society cares about, they care about money. And if you have money and you talented and you got clout, then who the fuck is the who the fuck am I? But through experience of what I've been through, I feel like I can speak on things like this. And I feel like, I at the end of the day, I haven't been in these tempting situations. I haven't had 20 tens. I haven't had access to 2010s. We was just talking about Nick Cannon having 12 kids, NBA YoungBoy 12. When you have that access, we be allowed to say that, oh, no, I'm not going to have no 12 kids. Bullshit. In today's day and age, that is a symbol right there. Because there's a lot of people out here that ain't having no kids. That only has one kid. And through the bad experience that they had with the female, they cool on having the kids. And I will never talk down on having kids because I feel like, especially as men, that's the reason why we're on this earth. We're on this earth to reproduce, to build, to conquer, to achieve. So yeah, even though I don't agree with having 12 baby moms, 12 kids, I think that at the end of the day, with the lack of families and kids that we're having, now is more important than ever to have and to set a stance, with all these people not having kids, the fact that the people that are having kids, their families are going to be bigger. They're going to have more power and stability in the future because, they're going to have a bigger family tree. If it's just you and your sister and, I have a kid and she has a kid, but then, this sucker down the street, it's two brothers and two sisters and they all have 5 kids. One of them has 10 kids. They gonna have a bigger family tree. The importance of the tree, though, we have to have fruitful, positive, constructive trees. Because the tree is only as strong as the fruit it bears. What's the point of having a big old family tree if all the fruit is rotten? We're having these family trees and, oh, I have a kid at this household. I got a kid over here. I got it. If that's how you get down, cool. I'm almost getting to the point where that's almost as better as having no kids nowadays. But at the same time, it's like, man, what are we doing as a society? We have to fix these things. And we're just falling deeper into the abyss, the mist. And we're not being able to see the things around us. We're not able to come together and communicate and try to figure out how the fuck we gonna get out of this mess. And a relationship and love, that's just one aspect to, society. They're trying to keep us in these cubicles. They're trying to distract us, keep us on TikTok, keep us on these social media platforms, feed us like we're human guinea pigs. And this is just one of the vices that they use against us to control us. Women are marrying the government. Granted, I know Cardi B successful. She's got money. They gonna be cool. But the thing that I want you guys to take from what I'm speaking to you guys on today is we have to do better. Yes, nobody wants to be in unhappy relationships. I get it. Relationships fizzle out and you probably ain't gonna be with that person forever. But what we need to stop doing is we need to stop blowing up or playing this tit for tat or, sabotaging the family tree. Cause it only makes us look bad. They all look like they got the pie face, the egg yolk on the chin face. Stefon Diggs, I don't know how many kids he has, but I know, he probably has multiple kids with multiple baby moms, and he's not married. Like, are we doing things out of our ego, out of pleasure? Are we doing things because it's the right thing to do and we're aligned in what we're doing it for? Stefon Diggs, if you were going to get Cardi B pregnant, you should at least put a ring on it. At least made her your fiance. But the times we're in, we do things ass backwards. Now we're having kids first. Then we get in a relationship. And then we get married. It's crazy. It's crazy. We gotta do better, y'all. So I read it enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the topic. And this isn't no hate. This isn't me trying to think I'm better. I'm in the same. I'm in the situation, and like I said, who am I at the end of the day? But these conversations need to be addressed and had, because we can't just put these in the headlines and think that this is something that we need to highlight. And if we are going to highlight it, we need to highlight the ups, downs, the lefts. Yes, I'm happy for him. Like I said, having kids is one of the best gifts. But when are we going to break this cycle of raising these kids off of how we feel and what we going through? Oh, I want to play tit for tat, so now I'm gonna do this off of. But we put the kids' feelings and emotions, and we put that on the back burner. But these are the ones that are going to have to, break the tradition, the family curses and shit like that. So really, you just adding fuel to the fire. You're making it harder for them when they grow up, because now mommy is with this dude or not with that dude no more. Used to be with this dude, used to be married. We're confusing the hell out of them. Let alone we're confused as fuck because we're not going off of a system anymore. We're simply just going off of our feelings. And our feelings often lead us in the wrong destination. We need to go off of principles. This person treats me right. This person invests in me. Yeah, I don't expect the Disney Channel, hologram bullshit relationship where the guy, she bumps into the guy and she drops her bags and then he picks them up for her and then he sweeps her off her feet and he does everything perfect. And I don't believe in the Disney Channel bullshit. But I do think that we do need to be up and honest, and if we are going to want and strive to be in a relationship with somebody, yes, roles are very important, but we need to be up and honest, and we need to stop playing the tit for tat and the blame game, or because at the end of the day, I spoke on Stefon Diggs, right? Cardi, how do you explain to your other three kids that now you're going to put another man potentially over them and their father? Let's be real. And this new kid is going to get all the attention. So how are they going to feel? Like I said, they'll still be straight. I think that Cardi, I don't know because I don't live in, but I would imagine Cardi's a decent mom and is a good mom, and you know, stuff like that happens. But we have to stop moving off of how we feel, our emotions and our ego. We have to make it cool again to go off of principle, go off of morals, go off of discipline. It's a lot that comes from that. So Cardi's having another man's kid and not even married, still married to, I think you got the pie face, along with Stefon Diggs. And then Offset, I feel like Offset been had the pie face. I feel like a lot of the stuff that's going on, I would hate to blame him, but accountability is a big thing. And when you go out here and you break people's hearts and you cheat and you lie and you keep doing it and you don't learn from your mistakes, I feel like he put himself in this situation. He could have had kids or not, didn't have to lie, didn't have to break hearts, didn't have to, he's still tweeting back and bro, you been doing you. You had this girl in the club and you Mr. Toxic. Now it's time for you to just, really focus on your kids and focus on, and that's the thing. Everybody focus on Cardi, focus on Stefon, focused on him, focused on her. What about the kids? Now I know they good with money and shit like that, but this is, what are we leaving them? You can leave somebody all the money in the world, but if they don't have the love, if they don't have, the emotional intelligence, if they don't have certain things that you need to have in order to just have a relationship, period. It doesn't even have to be a loving a couple relationship. Just certain things that you need to have and to know in relationships, period. This is how more trauma, this is how more um issues and problems erupt within people, is people not fixing their own shit. And now you dumping all that shit on your kids, and now your kids gotta grow up and be like, oh wait, why was it like this? Why now we making our kids hard? Now our kids don't even want to aspire to be in relationships. They even harder than us now, cause of what we taught them. Now we looking at them like, dang, this new generation wearing poo shiesty masks and STD rates is up. Ain't nobody in relationships. Everybody got switches. What the fuck is going on? Yes, it's because of us. It's because we were a version of them, and it just keeps forming into something more. First it was not vanilla ice. It was salt and pepper. Push it. Push it good. Push it. Push it real good. Now, I can't even recite to you what they're saying now. Now it's the most vulgar. And now I'm eating his ass. That's what we on. All right, y'all. 30 minutes in, y'all. We talked enough, but y'all, on a real note, we gotta do better as a society. Shouts out to Cardi, shouts out to Stefon Diggs, shouts out to Offset. This ain't for me to talk down and no. It's just like on some real shit. We need to do better. I gotta do better. We all need to look within and figure out, is this the best move? To have a kid with a woman that's still married? Am I gonna marry her? Am I leading her on? Because she's cheering and parading at But do I like her that much? Offset, you probably shouldn't even got married, my dude. Cardi was who she was. Probably shouldn't have got married off the jump. But, you know, shoot. I'm saying all this after the fact. You know, it's easier said after the fact. Love make you do crazy things. So I'm out. I love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Long story short, y'all, we gotta make better decisions, especially when it comes to these kids. Like, fuck us. These kids, y'all, like, I'm fighting like hell every single day, whether it's finances, whether it's working on myself to become better in any aspect. And it's not because of me, because at the end of the day, if it was because of me, I would have been quit. It's because of my daughter and it's because of the source. So, you know, we got to do better and we got to be those examples for the kids, the next generation. Because how are they going to know right from wrong, what they should do, if there aren't any examples? Nowadays, we're just talking, telling motherfuckers how it should be, but we are not leading with no type of example. So, love y'all. Peace. We out.